Hello friends, welcome to my channel. It's the beginning of March 2023 and I thought that what I would do today is a review of all of the makeup products that were released during the winter months and that seemed to me to have the potential of being appropriate for my own mature and sensitive skin. I've tried most of these products already and some of them have been really terrific for me and others have not been as good. So let's get started. First, a little bit of information about me. I'm 58 years old and I have dry and sensitive skin. I have never had any kind of procedures done on my face, such as surgery or injections, and I don't intend to ever have anything like that done. In addition, I have very sensitive skin, and so therefore I'm not able to use irritating ingredients like retinol. So I am hoping with makeup and skincare products that they will give a little bit of freshening to my face and also maybe look a little bit younger. So it seems to me that one theme for the winter was that a lot of lip products were released. No lipsticks that I managed to try out, but quite a few lip glosses and lip balms. So I thought I would talk about those. The first one that I have here is actually not a new product, but there were 8 new shades released, and this is from Lisa Eldridge, and this is called Gloss Embrace. Lisa Eldridge is a makeup brand from the UK, and this is actually one of my very favorite products or product lines, and the lip glosses are nice also. I kind of think of the lip glosses as almost a gateway drug into the land of Lisa Eldridge because they're not really expensive, but they work really nice and they look really good on me anyway. And once I think that I started to try these lip glosses, it started to make me think that some of the other products would be good too. And now I feel really enthusiastic anytime I buy anything from this line, like it's each one is like a little gem in my collection. And I almost am tempted to just buy Lisa Eldridge from now on and not buy anything else. But in any case, I'm wearing Lisa Eldridge Kitten Mischief lipstick right now. And so one of the shades that, the new shades, and I think this might be the most popular new shade of lip gloss, is called Sorcery. So I thought I would put that over the top and you can see what you think of it. So I think that as lip glosses go, this looks particularly nice. I've tried a few other really high-end lip glosses, including the ones from Westman Atelier and the ones from Victoria Beckham. And I think these are nicer. And I've really enjoyed wearing them. Apparently, a lot of her celebrity clients will wear these lip glosses and when their lips are in really bad shape. I don't know that they're products that I would wear as something if my lips were in bad shape to try to make them recover. But I do think that they're not bad for my lips and that they look nice and that I have really enjoyed wearing them. So this one is from RMS, which is one of my very favorite makeup brands. I don't think I've ever had any issues with any RMS products in terms of either my not enjoying using them or my not being able to tolerate them. So I'm always really happy when they come out with a new product. So this product is called Liplights, and there are 7 different colors. The one that I have here is called Bisou. One of the colors changes with the pH of your lips, so I have not tried that one yet, but I would be interested. So far, the main issue with this product is that sometimes when I open it, a whole lot of it comes pouring out. So that's what happened now, so I'm afraid I'm going to be wasting quite a bit of this product, which is too bad because I do kind of like it other than that. See, there's way too much on my finger now. That's really sad that I wasted that much product. Oh my gosh, it just keeps coming out of this tube. You know, when I first opened the tube, it seemed like it was quite stiff, and so I had to really squeeze it to get it out. And this time when I opened it, and I guess it's because the temperature's a little bit warmer, it just came out like a whole stream of it, so I don't quite understand that. I know that when you get to the end of the tube that you can put on one of the little keys that RMS either sells or that you can get for free if you buy one of their eyeshadows. But in this case, I kind of wonder if selling lip products in a little metal tube like this is such a good idea if it's going to have the potential for wasting it. Maybe I can find someplace to put this extra lip gloss to use until I use it. In any case, other than that, I so far have really enjoyed using this. I think this is a pretty color. This is kind of a peachy color. I think it stays on my lips pretty well. I think it tastes perfectly fine. It tastes quite clean. And I think it's hydrating. It has a lot of really good quality oils in it. The price is a little bit on the high side, so if I were, I don't know that I would buy more of them just because of the high price, but there may be enough in this tube that it's worth it, unless I waste all of it by it just squirting out all over the place. So I'm not sure that I like this design that much, but the product I do like quite a bit. Now the next product that I have here is from Tower 28, and it is called Juice Balms, and these are available in 4 colors, I think. And when I heard that name, Juice Balm, I really thought that it was going to be something that both had a fruit type flavor in it, like orange juice, and I also kind of thought that it was going to be juicy and kind of wet, and neither of those turned out to be the case at all. It's really more like a hydrating crayon that gives some moisture to your lips, but really goes on quite easily and is quite a bit different than I thought it was going to be. So I'll put that on now. So this product does have phenoxyethanol in it, which I think is something that I would slightly prefer not to have in lip balms, but it feels fine to me. It doesn't have any flavor. I'm not a person that really likes the Tower 28 lip glosses because those do have a flavor and they also go bad really quickly. This one doesn't have any flavor at all, and it tastes good to me, and hopefully it will last a little while with the phenoxyethanol in it, so we'll see how it goes. But so far I really enjoyed this one, and I'm going to keep using it. Now the next one, I'm not sure how long ago this was released, but I had never heard of it, and I'm not sure that very many people had heard of it until very recently when it was introduced to Sephora. So this is from a company called Amy Collet, and it's called Lip Treatment Oil. And it is a brand that has a number of different items, and that so far it's gotten pretty good reviews across the board. A lot of the products are made for dark skin, so I'm not really able to try them. But these lip treatment oils, I thought that I would give them a try. It does have a very large applicator, so I think that that's not really appropriate for my teeny tiny little lips, but I will show you what it looks like. It's a little stiff, but it tastes fine. It doesn't have any flavoring in it. I don't object to the flavoring. It does look very glossy, so if you like a glossy lip gloss, then this could be one to consider. And there are 4 colors, and I think that overall the ingredient list looks pretty good to me. So this could be something to put into the consideration list if you like a glossy lip gloss. Beautycounter also has a new lip product that was released a couple months ago, which is called the Beautycounter Clean Swipe Hyaluronic Lip Balm. So it has sodium hyaluronate in it and jojoba oil, and it is available in clear and 3 different shades. And I haven't tried that one yet because I usually only order Beautycounter products when things are on sale, and they haven't had a sale for a while. So probably they will be having a sale pretty soon though. And when they do, I am thinking that I will do a full review of all of the Beautycounter products that I have tried in terms of both the skincare products and the makeup products. So you can watch for that. That lip balm, it has orange oil and vanilla in it, so if you like that kind of flavor, then that could be a good one to consider. On the other hand, both of those ingredients can be irritating for some people, so be aware of that. And I will look forward to trying that one myself. In addition to the other lip products, there have been a number of lip pencils released. So the first one that I want to talk about is the Tower 28 one-liner. This may have been released in the fall, but it didn't come to Sephora until the winter, so that I didn't see it until then. And there are 3 shades of that, and supposedly you can use it on eyes, lips, and cheeks. I actually did buy one of these. I used it on my lips probably just a couple of times, and then it disappeared. I think my dog stole it and hid it somewhere. The last time he stole a wooden pencil from me, it was a Jones Road pencil, and then when I was doing the Jones Road video, he seemed to see that I was using some of those pencils, the other ones, and he brought the one back and put it on my bed to let me have it. So I may still get that Tower 28 pencil back. In any case, I think it's a good pencil. It has jojoba oil in it, and I would like to try it again. Maybe I'll get it in the brown shade and see how it works. Another pencil that has just been announced that I have not used yet is the RMS Go Nude Lib Pencil, which is available in 6 different shades. So RMS used to make I think it was a twist-up pencil in a daytime nude and a nighttime nude shade, in a red shade, but those have gone away for a while, and now they have these wooden sharpenable pencils. And those seem to have a bunch of different oils in them, so they look like they are really creamy, but hopefully they'll work out well. So I'm looking forward to using those because I do like RMS products in general. Another product that I just ordered that I haven't gotten is the Perez Coco Crayon, and this won a Best of Beauty award from Allure in 2022, and I think that was earlier in the fall. But again, I didn't see that product until more recently. So it's supposed to be a full coverage lip crayon, and people really seem to like it a lot. So I'm going to supposedly be getting that in the next few days. So hopefully I can talk about that soon in another video. So now let's talk about cheek products. And the first one that I thought that we would talk about is this new powder blush from Haus Labs. So Haus Labs makes 2 other products that are powder that I have really enjoyed. The first one is the bronzer, and then they also make a whole line of highlighters. And in both of those, they make a whole lot of different shades, which I think has been really interesting. Now for this blush, they only have 5 shades, and they're all very bright and very pigmented. So this is the peach one, Pomelo Peach, I think it's called. And then there are some other ones that I thought would be even more difficult for me to wear. I think that it's pretty on me, and I think that especially as it gets to be summer, peach is a good color for me. But in general, I think that these blushes, they're apparently made so that people with any kind of skin tone can use them. And certainly if I use them really lightly with a very light touch, or maybe I'll even get out a fan brush to use this. And it looks pretty on me, but I think that for me, I would kind of prefer a blush that wasn't quite so pigmented, but we'll see how much use I get out of it over the summer. It's very, like the other powder products from Haus Labs, it's very finely milled. It's very pleasant to use. It is possible to put it on very lightly because it is so fine. And it's a very pretty color, so I do really like these products. They also seem to be kind of hydrating and therefore good for the skin. So all in all, I'm still a big fan of all the Haus Labs powder products. Now, I'm not always that much of a fan of Charlotte Tilbury, and apart from the original Pillow Talk lipstick, which has a certain kind of charm, I really haven't had a lot of success with the other products, maybe only half a dozen or so that I've tried from her. However, I have really liked this new Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand that I bought. So these are new, and they are available through Sephora and I guess other retailers in 3 shades, but this Pillow Talk one only seems to be available on the website. And the reason that I like it is because it is just super easy to use. So all I have to do is just put a few dots of it on my face, and then it blends in super easily. And this Pillow Talk shade is so neutral that you really feel like I really can't go wrong with it. So I do think I'm going to get some use out of this. I'm still not feeling like I'm a huge Charlotte Tilbury fan, but at least this one seems to be one of the better products. And it is clean, so I feel fine about using it, and I haven't experienced any irritation or anything like that. So the next product is from a company called Mob Beauty, and this is a new company. I think it's about a year or 2 years old, that was founded by some of the original people that were responsible for the success of the MAC line. So one of the original owners of MAC and one of the key makeup formulators from the very beginning decided to start this company, which is cleaner and it is better for the environment. They don't use silicones. And I've been really, really impressed with their powder products, their powder eyeshadows and their powder blush and their powder highlighters. They've all been really terrific for me. The newest product that they have is a hyaluronic highlighter, and so it's creamy, and they're all refillable. So in this palette here, for instance, this is the new highlighter, and then this is a powder highlighter, and this is a powder blush. And this product, I think it's this is the bronzing highlighter shade for this, and so it goes on very non-sparkly, so it has a pretty sheen to it, but it's understated. So I think that I feel good about using this so far, and I think that it gives my face a kind of a pretty sheen to it. I'm not sure that I should have bought this bronzing highlighter shade. Maybe I should have gotten one of the other regular highlighting shades. But in any case, I really like this company. I like a lot of the products from this company a lot. I had some non-success with their lip balms, but in general, I think that this is it's nice to see this company in business, and I would like to do a full review of their entire line soon. Another big introduction is from one of my favorite companies, which is Jones Road. So they introduced a line of 7 bronzers, and I have this one in the shade Light Tan. I like it a lot, but I use it more as a blush bronzer rather than as an overall, thinking that it's going to actually darken my skin tone. It's a little bit on the reddish clay side for me. I'm a little interested in some of the other shades that they have, and I'm also interested in the bronzer brush, which has gotten very good reviews. So I ordered another shade of the bronzer as well as the bronzer brush. So I'm going to be doing some more testing with that, and maybe doing another video on powder bronzers, because there's a lot out there, and I think that it would be interesting to do a comparison video. Jones Road also introduced 2 new shades of Miracle Balm recently. One is called Miami Beach, which is a sort of a apricot type shade, and the other one is called Flushed, which is a pink shade, and those are much brighter shades than the Miracle Balm has previously been available in the past. So if you're looking for actual color from the Miracle Balm in terms of it being a blush, then this might be a good product for you to consider. Unfortunately, Miracle Balms include several different essential oils, including rose geranium oil. For me, I'm allergic to rose geranium oil, so I have given up on being able to use it myself. But if that's something that you can tolerate, then I think that's a great product, and I would highly recommend it. Myriad also has 4 new shades in their Flush Balms. That is one of my favorite products for my cheeks, and I already have 3 shades, and I use them quite frequently. So I did go to the Sephora store and swatch the new shades, and I think they're all really pretty. A product that a lot of people have been talking about is the Kosas Glow IV Vitamin Infused Skin Illuminating Enhancer, which is a liquid highlighter type product that has a pump, and that supposedly you can put on under foundation or mix with your foundation or use as a highlighter over your foundation. And I tried this in the Sephora store. I did not dislike it quite as much as other people did, but I was only using it as a little bit of a highlighter on my skin, on my cheeks. And I thought it was kind of pretty for that, but it does have not just like mica in it, it also has actually little glitter particles in it. So I didn't put very much of it on my face, and so I didn't have a chance to really see what it's like in action if you try to use it all over your face. I feel like I have a lot of products that are liquid highlighters, and since this product seems to have been reviewed by many, many people, none of whom like it, I'm not even sure it's going to be on the market that long. Most of the Kosas products are terrific, but sometimes there was one product, I think a lip type product, that came and then just disappeared. So I'm not real motivated to buy this, even though I thought it was okay. And I think that the good thing about that product is that it has a lot of different shades. So for me, I use a product called the RMS Master Radiance Base. And I just use smaller amounts to give a little bit of a natural type glow. And I think that product is very pretty on my face. But I think it's the right shade for me. And if you have a different shade of skin, then maybe one of those Kosas products, you could find a good match for your skin. So I think that could be something to look at. I think the variety of shades in a liquid highlighter like that's kind of nice. But in general, I didn't feel it necessary to buy that product, since I feel like I have plenty of other things like that. I also see that Kosas has slightly reformulated their bronzer, their powder bronzer, which is called the Sun Show, and added more shades to it. So this is the original one from last year. So I have the light shade in this, and this is really not a bronzer, at least not for me, and I don't have dark skin. This is really more like a highlighter that provides just a little bit of illumination in my skin and just a small amount of shine, but not too much shine. I've been interested for a while, especially since I've seen it swatched in the next darkest shade, which is now called Beachy. The main thing that I heard about the old bronzer was that some people said that they thought that it had a bad smell, so I'm wondering if it had the tendency to go rancid. But I'm not sure if the changes that they've made in it will make it less likely to go rancid. So we will see. So I will get back to you soon on that new bronzer. Another product from Tower 28 is called Sculptino. So of course, Tower 28 has a couple of cream products that have been very successful. One is their line of cream blushes, and one is a line of glowy type highlighter bronzers. So, and those are relatively inexpensive, and people really like them, and I do think that those have performed well for me. The new line of products is called Sculptino. And this is a matte line of bronzers, and there are 4 shades, and they label it as a cream contour plus bronzer, but reportedly it doesn't really contour that much, and it's more on the yellowish, reddish type side. So I'm not sure that this is a good product for me. For one thing, I'm not interested in contouring, and for another thing, I have had a really difficult time finding good bronzers that go with my skin tone and that don't make me look muddy or yellow. So I did a whole video on that. So I think that what I really need to do is to find, hopefully they'll be selling those in the Sephora, so I can take a look at those and see if any of those are appropriate for me. Now, one more highlighter that has been introduced and that is labeled as clean at Sephora is the Caliray High Light Radiant Glow Highlighter. So I really am a big fan of Caliray, both eyeliners and mascaras, to the point that they're really my favorite brand for both of those categories on the market. So even though I'm not that into super shiny highlighters, and apparently these 2 highlighters are very super shiny, I was still really interested in buying them until I found out by looking at the ingredient list that it contains aluminum powder. So I did not really focus on the idea until now that apparently Sephora thinks that if you have aluminum powder in your products that you can still be labeled as clean at Sephora. Aluminum powder is rated as 10 out of 10 on the EWG toxicity scale, and Credo does not allow it, and I find it to be especially irritating, certainly for my eyes, but probably for other parts of my face as well. So the idea that that's being considered to be clean beauty, that's a surprise to me. So I don't think that I'm going to be buying that. And maybe I will take a look at it next time I go to Sephora. But in general, it's kind of disappointing. And I kind of feel like it's interesting because what we're moving into a situation is that products that are labeled as clean are not ones that necessarily include all ingredients that I think are okay. And on the other hand, there's an awfully lot of companies that have historically made very non-clean products that now are introducing at least some products that have no problematic ingredients at all and that I do fine with. So I think this is an interesting turn of events, and I think that it makes it more important for me to be really looking at the ingredient lists and then hopefully sharing that information with you so that you can have some sort of idea of where things are falling. Because I don't necessarily think that, especially Sephora, maybe Credo's a little bit more reliable, but especially Sephora, I'm not sure that Clean at Sephora standard really necessarily gives me any good information about whether a product is going to be okay. So now let's talk about eye products. And the first one that I want to talk about is one of the products that I think is probably one of the more exciting introductions that I have seen recently. And these are the Lisa Eldridge eyeshadow palettes. So Lisa Eldridge is a makeup artist from the UK, a celebrity makeup artist, and she's had for the past couple years her own makeup line. She also has a quite large following on YouTube. But just, I think it was maybe the end of November or sometime in December, she released these new eyeshadow palettes. And there are 5 palettes, and each one has 6 shades in it. And you can also buy each of the shades individually. So if you run out of shadows, or if you just like a particular single shadow, then you can buy those separately. And they come in these beautiful little elegant palettes. And so you can replace them when they run out, or you can also mix and match so you can create your own custom palette if you don't like her selections. So there are 5 different palettes. The one that I have is on the warm side, so it's and there's a few shimmers and a few mattes. I became especially interested in these because she made a point of saying that they were talc-free. Then I spent a lot of time looking through all the ingredients for all of the eyeshadows because there's several different formulas. And what I found is that almost all of the shadows meet my criteria in terms of what I think is okay and would also qualify as clean at Sephora or eligible to be sold at Credo and okay by EWG standards, except for 3 of the eyeshadows which have aluminum powder in it. So I thought that was very interesting. But I think that Lisa Eldridge has a very practical mindset, and that if she can get really good shadows without using problematic ingredients in them, then she's going to do it, but she's also not going to commit herself to not using ingredients if she can get really something that's really stunning from using an ingredient that at least some people don't have problems with. So I don't have a problem with that. This shadow, the palettes that have the aluminum powder shades in it, the names of the shades are the Supernova and Moon Swirl from the Vega palette, which is the gray palette, and then Mercurial, which is from the Sorcery palette, which has a lot of bright, sparkly colors in it. So I don't know if I'm going to buy those palettes, but I may buy a few of the shades from those palettes because some of them look really gorgeous. I think that of all of the shadows that I've tried so far, I think that in terms of performance, that these are really terrific. They go on really easily. They blend really easily. I'm not that great at using eyeshadow or creating dramatic eyeshadow looks, but I think that these have been very user-friendly for me and that they have worked well for me, whether or not I want to use them as a kind of a one-and-done look or if I want to use them in combination with one another. So far, at least this palette has been splendid for me. So I've been very happy with this and gotten quite a bit of use out of it. And I am actually interested, because Lisa Eldridge has such a good eye for color, that I think that some of the other eyeshadow palettes might also be appropriate for me, even if I am suspicious about whether I can wear them. So I've found that a lot of her lipsticks, or really all the lipsticks that I bought so far, have worked out really well for me, even though they're not necessarily colors that I think would work for me. So I think that these eyeshadow palettes could be worth experimenting with some more as well. So I can't say enough good things about this, and I would be interested in anything that Lisa Eldridge has to offer, because I've had really good experiences with everything from her that I have purchased, and I really need to do a full review of everything just for fun. So the next product line that I want to talk about are the Jane Iredale brow products. So I have tried an awfully lot of brow pencils and brow gels over the past couple years, 20, 30, 40, maybe something like that. And I have always really liked the formula for both the thin brow pencils from Jane Iredale and also the brow gels. However, I could never find a good shade for me. They only had, I think, 3 or 4 shades at the time, and none of those really looked good on me. They always looked kind of on the red side. But this past December, they came out with a few new shades. I don't think that the formula for these has been changed. So now they have one color that's ash blonde and another one that's neutral blonde. And this is kind of confusing because I always thought that ash blonde was neutral. So I wrote to them and I asked, and they said that the neutral blonde is more neutral and that the ash blonde is more on the reddish side. And for me, I feel like, especially since my hair is starting to be gray, that it's important for me to stick with more neutral colors and not go in the reddish line. And so I purchased the neutral blonde in the brow gel in this narrow pencil. And then they also came out with, I think this is for the first time, one with a pencil that's wider with a triangular tip, which I think is supposed to be if your brows are not as scanty as mine, that you can fill in your brows faster and easier with this. So I purchased all 3 of these products. I thought that, oh, I shouldn't be buying this one. But actually, it turns out that of all the brow products that I have purchased that have had a triangular tip, this one has been terrific. I can't believe it. This is better than the ones that cost $50. So I've been really happy about that, and I've actually been getting some good use out of it. And I would recommend these brow products very much, because apart from the Jones Road product, the Jones Road brow pencil, I can do that really fast and my brows look okay in a couple seconds per brow. But in terms of actually making a brow that looks plausible for me and that looks thicker and a good color for me, this has really worked out really well. I think that the brow gel really coats my brow hairs, even the really super fine ones, and makes them look like they're real brow hairs. And I feel like both of these pencils do a really terrific job of filling in. So these are at the top of the list for me in terms of brow products at this point. Now, I have a hard time with mascaras. Most of them, even if they're labeled as clean, make my eyes irritated, and I have very sensitive eyes in general, and I don't want to irritate them because I've had, at one point I had an eye infection and almost lost my eye, so I'm very, very careful about it. But still, I'm trying some various mascaras. This one that has gotten some good reviews, this is from another product from Amy Collet, so I haven't tried it yet, but I will probably try that soon and see what I think of it, and then report back in a full video about mascaras maybe. But in any case, the mascaras that I really like at the moment, I really like that Caliray one, and I also really like the Merit one pretty much, and I've been liking the Tower 28 one, and none of those have caused me any substantial amount of irritation or any irritation at all. Now, if we want to go way to the sort of ridiculously expensive end, then Westman Atelier has an eye kit that they sold as a Christmas gift for $180 called the I Love You set. And the only reason that I bring this up is because I've been hearing from other people that the eyeshadows that are in that kit are a different formula and much better than the old eyeshadows from Westman Atelier. So I do have one of these little eyeshadow pods, and I have had a very, very difficult time with this, and I think that I'm not alone in this. So this is an eyeshadow that has a really, really, unusually nice color in terms of how it looks on my eyes. But in terms of actually getting it to behave, I think it's been a little difficult for me. And supposedly this new formula is much nicer and applies much better. Now, I don't think that the individual eyeshadows or the eyeshadow sets have that new formula in them yet, but I am looking forward to that because that might be a reason for me to buy more eyeshadows from Westman Atelier. Now, even the 3-pod set is $88 or something, so I'd have to really be convinced that this is a good product before I bought any more eyeshadows from them. But at least I'm happy to see that they've improved their product. They also have an eyeliner in that kit, in the gift kit, that is supposed to be really nice. So I'm interested in how the eyeliner from Westman Atelier turns out as well. That kit also has their mascara in it. I don't think they've updated the mascara. I did not have a good experience with the little tester mascara at all. People really told me that the product is very gentle, and I totally agree, I can wear that mascara, but that it tends to kind of smear and flake all over the eyes, and I did find there to be some smearing in it. So it's a little bit of trouble to use, and if I'm going to use mascara, I kind of want it to behave, or otherwise I just skip it. So I don't think they've changed the mascara, but the developments in terms of them changing the eyeshadow formula and introducing an eye pencil are interesting to me. Now let's talk about complexion products. So in December, the Makeup by Mario foundation was released. I did a whole video on this. I think this is a really nice product. It's a silicone product, so I don't know that I want to put it on my face all the time. But I really liked it because I thought that it made me look considerably younger by putting a layer of softness on my face that made my face look like it had sort of more fat under the surface. So it seems very similar to the Jones Road product, the What the Foundation, to me, in terms of it being very appropriate for women who are getting older and who would like to have their face look a little bit more plump. I would wear it probably more often despite not liking silicone foundations, except that they really didn't have a good shade match for me. So this shade is too light for me. This is too N, and then the other shade that I tried out was a little too dark. I think that other shade might work better for me in the summer. I should try to find something to mix this with and try to wear it more on a regular basis to look nice, though, because I think that it does make me look very nice, and so I would recommend it for that reason, as at least to give it a try. And then I also did a whole video on this new Laura Mercier foundation. I really like this foundation in terms of both how clean the ingredient list is and in terms of how it looked on my face. I thought that it looked very natural, but while giving quite a lot of coverage. It's a very thin foundation. It really looks like I'm not wearing anything at all with it. The main problem that I have is that it is quite drying for my face. I feel like that is an issue for me, especially now in winter, but maybe when summer comes along it won't be as much of an issue and I can get some use out of it. But it is something that I would recommend trying, and it is good to see Laura Mercier moving in a more clean direction. Now, the next foundation that I want to talk about is from Jane Iredale, and it is called the Hydra Pure Tinted Serum. So it looks like this, and this is a replacement for their old foundation, which used to be called Liquid Minerals A Foundation. And this is now available on the Jane Iredale website for 30% off, and it looks like it's going to be gone totally. So if you're interested in that, in terms of your shade, then this would be a good time to buy it. I've been using this product for quite a while, and it was released more than a decade ago, I think, and I have really enjoyed it quite a bit. Every time I have done the Jane Iredale test to try to figure out what kind of foundation they think you should use, they always said that I should use this kind. So I think it was for more mature skin types. It's for people that only want light to moderate coverage. There were more than a dozen shades, but the one problem is that it was only, there were no shades that were available really certainly for dark skin or even really for medium skin. So that's become a real hot button issue. So they would have had to change this regardless. And it's expensive to come out with a lot of new SKUs. So apparently the way that they solved all of these problems is by changing the formula dramatically to include quite a few more synthetic laboratory type ingredients. So you can see on this list here which ingredients are new in the new product. It looks quite different. And they also made there be a slightly less coverage and fewer shades, but more of those shades are darker. So I tried this product, and today I tried it in comparison on my face so that you can see which side you think looks better. I've been wearing it for a while now, so I'll get closer up and you can see what you think the difference is. What I think is that this product offers marginally more coverage, and this product offers a somewhat better surface, and it also lasts longer. So I think that there's something in here that causes it to be adhesive and not to wear off as easily, which is a benefit. I was reading about one person who said that she was using this to go to the gym, and I can kind of see this because it looks very natural, obviously, and it doesn't wear off very easily, and it looks like you're not wearing any foundation at all. So if you want just a slight amount of coverage to look a little bit better, then this could be a choice. In terms of the coverage issue, I think that if you want more coverage, then you might be better off looking towards something like the Rose Incorporated foundation, which does offer about the same amount of coverage as that old Jane Iredale formula did. I also really like in terms of a foundation that's really good for my skin, I like this Typology one. So those would both be ones that I would probably be more likely to wear on a day-to-day, just hang around, going on errands and stuff like that basis at this point. The other thing that I found to be a little negative about this foundation is that it's a little more difficult to remove. So I found that when I tried to take it off just using a regular cleanser, that my skin kind of had a sticky type feeling to it that is more like what I would feel from a silicone. So I don't think there's really any silicone in this, but it definitely has some kind of adhesive in it that's hard to get off, and that really requires some kind of makeup remover balm or oil or something like that. So all in all, I don't think this is a bad product, and I think that if they wanted to continue to offer some kind of product like this one, because I doubt it's real popular, that it wasn't necessarily a bad decision that they made, but I don't really feel like this is necessarily my favorite foundation now. Another thing that happened recently is that both Chanel and Tom Ford introduced concealers that seem to offer a fair amount of coverage and that do not include any fragrance or any other ingredients that seem to be particularly problematic for me. So these include the Chanel's Sublimage Le Corrector Yeux, and I will show you what this looks like. This comes in quite a large jar, so it's almost like a foundation, but it is labeled as a concealer. And I use so little foundation or concealer that I thought that this might do well for me. So I decided to give it a try. It's gotten really good reviews from a few people that I respect. So I am interested in trying that to see how it will work for me. The regular Sublimage product, the foundation does have fragrance in it, so that makes it a no-go for me. But the fact that I can use any Chanel products at all is kind of exciting. So I'm thinking that I'm going to report back in terms of a whole video on high-end concealers and how they compare to the other concealers that I have been using on a regular basis, including the Merit product and the Jones Road face sticks, and to see if these are any better. And this product from Tom Ford is a little concealer that some people seem to think is really terrific. So I had good luck with the Tom Ford foundation stick. So I will be interested to see how this product compares to that and to some of the other concealers in my collection. So stay tuned for that. I have tried out over time quite a few different foundation sticks. And one of the foundation sticks that I tried out in the past was one by Tarte. That one was discontinued, but now they have introduced a new product called the Tarte Skin Treat Poreless Foundation Stick. I like the old version, and my friend who had pore issues really liked the old version. So I'm glad that they came out with a new one, and I will be ordering that soon, and so I will report back on that in some way, letting you know what I think of it. Tarte also has a new corrector under the Shape Tape line. So Shape Tape is a product line that I have not used because the ingredients list looks so problematic, but these new correctors actually have a quite good ingredient list. And they're really interesting because there's 9 different shades, and some of them are super dark. So there's like a red and a bright blue and a black. So that's all very interesting. And since the formula looks pretty good, I use a color corrector under my eyes every day, a pink or a peach color corrector. And there have been times that I've used green color corrector to compensate for the redness on my face. So I decided to try the peach color corrector in this new Tarte line. So I will be reporting back to you on that, or maybe doing a whole video on color correctors. I think that would be fun. And Caliray also introduced another product called the Surf Proof Hydrating Setting Spray. Now, I've never felt like I needed to use setting sprays, and so I haven't done that very much at all. So I don't have a lot of experience with that. I was going to buy this anyway until I looked at the ingredient list. And in this case, it has natural fragrance in the ingredient list, and it also has several other kinds of processed fragrance, so I kind of doubt that my face is going to much like this, and I'm not very enthusiastic about using it, but if I get to Sephora, I will give it a try. I mean, and they have it there. I will give it a try and see what I think of it. There are some people that like to use setting sprays, so I'd like to find one that people could use that would have a really clean ingredient list, but so far I haven't really stumbled upon anything that I think is something that I could that I have benefited from myself, or that I could really feel good about recommending to other people. Most of the setting sprays that I've used either don't seem to do anything, or they have a lot of stuff in them that's, I think, is really bad for, certainly for my face, and probably for other people as well. So now I have 2 more products that are not exactly makeup products, but that are makeup adjacent. So the first one is fragrance. So in general, I have not found that I have liked any kind of synthetic fragrances at all recently. However, I do like essential oils and other kinds of natural fragrance, depending on what they are, but more sort of across the board. But it's hard to find any kinds of perfume type products that do have only natural fragrance. So one of the ones that I have liked the best is from a company called the 7 Virtues. Their most popular product is called Vanilla Woods, and this one actually, I wrote to the company to verify this, this one really only includes vanilla, real vanilla extract. So I always think about Granny from the Beverly Hillbillies telling people that they should put a little vanilla extract behind their ears, but it really does smell quite nice, and I'm quite fond of that product. Then they include they have quite a few other fragrances where what they're doing is using, I have noticed, one top note like jasmine, and then they use a lot of other processed fragrances to support it. So things like linalool or limonene, or other kinds of super processed fragrances, but that are made out of natural ingredients. So their newest fragrance is called Coconut Sun, and this has coconut as the main ingredient, and then it has a number of other types of processed fragrances underneath it. And so I decided to give this a try, and I just got the smaller version. And I don't feel like it really smells that much like coconut per se, and it certainly doesn't smell like the fake coconut that I really detest that's in so many cosmetic products. But what I finally realized that it smells like is coconut cookies with maybe just a little bit of floral in it, which makes a lot of sense because the ingredients that it has in this, it has clove extract, and it has cinnamon extract, and it has tonka extract, which smells quite a bit like vanilla, and then it has some floral stuff in it. So I found this to be actually quite nice, and a nice little sort of winter type fragrance to be using. And so far I've been able to use all of the 7 Virtues products. So this is for sale at Sephora, and you can also get a little starter kit with a variety of different tiny little sprays that you can try out all of the other products. I don't think that they have one with this coconut in it yet, but I'm positive about this coconut one. It doesn't smell like coconut, but there's some coconut sort of flavor in there. So the last product category that I want to talk about is wine. And I used to be a really big fan of wine when I was young. So when I was in my 20s, I worked for an Italian wine importer and distributor because I really enjoyed wine. So that was the main reason I took that job for a while. And I got a chance to try out a lot of really, really good wines like Mouton Rothschild and Chateau Lafite, those kinds of things. And also a lot of really good Italian wines and other kinds of really exceptional products. So that was something that I really enjoyed. And then as time went on, I found that wine started to be something that really caused me to react and that I couldn't drink at all. And that's especially the case with American wines. And I think that was because glyphosate is often used in vineyards, or almost routinely used. So they spray it in between the rows in order to kill off a variety of other kinds of plants. And so therefore, I think that all of that gets into the wine, and that it causes not just the wines to be contaminated with glyphosate, but also it messes up the microbiome of the wine and causes there to be more mold, especially toxic mold in the wine. And all of those things are really problematic for me. So recently I have really only found a few types of wine, and most of these are from France or to some extent other countries that have worked for me. I usually just end up drinking a brand called La Vieille Ferme, which I guess is a biodynamic wine from France. So it's like only around $10 a bottle. So it's remarkably inexpensive, and it's good table wine. But this is not what I would consider to be wine with interesting flavors, and that really is the kind of wine that I used to enjoy drinking. So when I found out that the head of Merit, her name is Catherine Power, she started Merit, and then she also started a company called Versed, which is a skincare company using clean ingredients that you can get at Target. And she also started the website Who What Where. She also worked with Cameron Diaz to start a wine company called Avaline. And all the wines from Avaline are made with organic grapes, and it says and little else. And most of them come from France or other countries, or a few of them come from the United States. And so I have had such good experiences with the Merit line in particular that I decided to give the Avaline wines a try. So I bought 6 bottles in December, and most of those were from France, and a couple of them, the other ones were from the US and maybe somewhere in South America. And I thought all of those were fine. I was really surprised and really happy that I was able to tolerate them. So I'm not saying that everyone would be able to tolerate every kind of wine that they sell. I think that's probably unlikely. But I am very happy to have found a line of wines that I seem to be able to tolerate. And this is the last bottle. This one's from France, so I may probably soon, I'll probably order another 6 bottles of this. So I thought that I would bring that up. The only negative that I would say that I experienced with this product is that I had to stay home all day waiting for the UPS guy to come because they needed a signature for it. So it would be better if you can have this wine sent to someplace where you don't have to, if you're not going to be home all day, that you can get it picked up for you. But other than that, I think that this is a very nice company that they have founded, and I'm really glad they're doing that. So thank you for watching all the way to the end of the video. And I wanted to mention that even though I only have been doing this for a couple of months now, and I only have a couple of hundred subscribers, I am taking it really seriously in terms of actually purchasing products and putting a lot of work into it, because I think it's something meaningful that I can be doing, and also hopefully something that will turn into a business and that I can justify continuing to do. So if there's anything that you would be willing to do that would help me out, some of the things that you could do would be including subscribing, hitting the bell so that if YouTube decides that they don't want to have you see a particular video, that you don't miss it entirely, liking the video, writing a comment, and then also there's a list of links on my website that are affiliate links. So if you're going to be buying something anyway, then you might want to take a look at that page and click on the link so that I will potentially get a small commission from that. Or the links for the products that I mentioned in my videos, I will be putting in the description box on the YouTube video. So any of those things could be super helpful to me. Or if you want to tell anybody else to watch these videos, if you think they might be interesting, then it's very, very hard to start a YouTube channel, I have realized. And I'm really committed to it, and I'm committed to doing it for a while anyway. But if you can help me out with it, that would be really great. Thanks very much for watching, and Coco and I love you very much. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Mwah.